the line. Joe, ask them to call in, and they've called. Joe, Chelsea, what's happening, mate? It's not looking good.
I don't know. I really don't know. We're not looking good. Not looking good at all.
What has happened? What's going on? You know?
I personally think that there's just no repercussions if they play badly.
There's no one in reserve.
There's no, exactly. There's no one pressurising the first team out of their places. Peter Cech has got no competition whatsoever, so he can swan about and do whatever he likes. You know, it doesn't matter because he's not going to be dropped. And I just think that's the case. You know, all over the.
I think that's a very good point. Actually, they haven't got really, considering the money you've spent. The lack of depth in that squad is quite stunning, isn't it? You look at the bench sometimes.
It's poor. It's very poor.
Yeah. I don't know what's happened there because...
well, they've lost some big players. Terry's not playing, Lampard's not playing.
I'm sure Frank was playing today.
Was Frank playing today?
Frank was playing today. What is happening? What is it? Is it the system he's playing? What's happening? The players don't look dynamic for some reason. Chelsea's passing seems it does seem very slow and across ways, and I'm not seeing dynamicism from Chelsea. You know what I mean? They just seem like it's just passing them by, and I don't know what's happening with your manager. What's he meant to do? He's a 33-year-old coaching wizard. He's sucked the life out of Chelsea's players at the minute. It doesn't look good for him.
Well, there's several questions to answer there.
Go on then.
You're right about the passing. I mean, Chelsea have had 60-70% of the possession today, and every single percent of that has been in front of Everton. Not once did we get round the back of Everton.
Wow.
Not once today.
Have you got any width? Have you got any width in that team?
I'm coming to that. Don't worry. The whole game was played at the same tempo. At no point did we up the tempo. At no point did we slow the tempo to try and catch them on the break. It just didn't happen. With regards to width, you know, we're a team like Chelsea, and we don't have an out-and-out winger.
No.
I don't think Mata's an out-and-out winger. He's someone that cuts inside. Sturridge is not an out-and-out winger. How can you have a team as big as Chelsea without one out-and-out winger in the squad? It's mental. Absolutely mental.
I've got to say, Joe, in respect of AVB, you know, obviously you did 3-0 against Man United, being 3-0 up, ended up drawing that game, losing today.
That was Howard Webb wearing a red shirt, wasn't it?
Well, there was... All right, hang on.
Yeah, let him have it.
It's gone.
Let's leave him alone. Let him have it. He's a guest of our show. We should treat him well. The fact is, in respect of AVB, he's come out and said today that is the worst performance under his reign. Is he right? Because Perry Grove said you were pretty bad.
I would say so. Yeah, we were bad today.
Well,
what about we haven't even talked about Fernando, have we? I mean, is he just like, we're not even talking about him?
Fernando, Torres is so isolated, it's scary. He gets the ball. If he gets it up front, if he manages to get it up front, there's no one within 20 yards of him. The only time they ever pass to him properly is when he's dropped into midfield, and by that point he's got 5 or 6 players to try and get a shot on.
He can't do any damage there, can he?
No, he can't. And I mean, you know, they get paid 100 grand a week, these players, and they can't cross the ball, not even from a corner. You can't even beat the first man from a corner. I mean, you'd expect international players to be able to cross the ball from a corner. You'd expect our goalkeeper to be able to put a ball in from a corner with reasonable accuracy. So how you can, you know, how the likes of the outfield players can't do it, it baffles me.
But what's the
new manager?
What's going to happen then? Is it going to be a new manager? Because I thought you had a pretty good one in Ancelotti personally, and they went, like I said, I was waiting for the wizard that is AVB Potter. I thought he was going to do some wizardry because he's 33, he's come from Portugal, he's meant to be the new Mourinho. It sounds to me like he just needs a drink of water every time I hear him talking. His voice is so deep. And I'm thinking to myself...
Well, I think that's through shouting, isn't it?
It must be through shouting at training or something. But do you think, final question, he's going to get the sack?
No.
You don't think even with Mourinho maybe leaving Real Madrid at the end of the season, you don't think it's all set up for him? I heard that he's been speaking to Abramovich.
That's what they say.
Well, if you hear that, I mean that's most Chelsea fans wish would be to have Jose back, isn't it?
Of course. Well, something's needed, Joe. I've got to say.
But it's Abramovich swallowing his pride, and I'm not sure he can do that. But we'll see.
We will see. I've got to say later on, I've got a very interesting lady coming on. Her name's Amanda Rigby. She's the chairman of Bath City. We're going to be speaking to her later on. And I'm looking forward to that. I won't tell you about it till we do it.
All right.
Something interesting.
Exciting.
But what was you going to say? The league tables we're going to do.